Boxing King Media in association with Boxro here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with Adam Smith promoting Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora, a fight that I'd never in a million years thought had happened again. That's my introduction.
Never say never in boxing. I expected a few more fireworks up there from Derek, but there we go. It's the Tyson Fury show. It's good to be here at Tottenham. Obviously, we've got fond memories of all the collaboration that the great people here gave us for the AJ Usyk fight just over a year ago. Daniel Levy always wanted to do boxing at Spurs big events, and that was fantastic. And although it wasn't a great night for AJ, it was a wonderful one for boxing. So it's good to be back. I thought I'd pop in and see Tyson and Derek today. Obviously, it's not our show, but Tyson Fury boxing is great for the sport, and Derek Chisora, yeah, look, it's a trilogy. It's something that Tyson Fury said he'd give Derek the opportunity again. Derek's coming off a win. He's an overwhelming favourite, Fury, as we all know, but it's an event, and I think Tyson will sell this place out, and I'm sure it will be entertaining on the night. Daniel Dubois as well, but yeah, it's the world heavyweight title, and when that happens, we should all be taking notice.
I've got to get your thoughts on the whole picking Derek for this fight, because obviously I've been looking at the fans' reaction, and to be fair, it's quite negative. Yeah. I noticed, Frank Warren mentioned the names on BoxRec, but my understanding is it's a WBC title, so should the WBC rankings is what should be looked at, not the BoxRec rankings?
I'm not here to promote this fight. It's obviously it's a BT fight, it's a Frank Warren and Queensberry fight, but as I said, Tyson Fury is fighting again. So every fight that Tyson Fury in is an event. And remember when we were at Wembley in the spring, and he said, "That's it, I'm retiring." No one really took him seriously. He went back to Morecambe, and ultimately he decided that he wants to fight again. I heard him on TalkSport earlier saying he wants 10 more fights. So you never know with Tyson Fury. And I think the message is enjoy him while he's here. We all want to see the Usyk fight. We all wanted to see the AJ fight. I was really hopeful that would be made. It wasn't. And I think rather than fight a Manuel Charr or somebody else that people don't really know in Britain, for the casual fans, Derek Chisora is a name. He's a character. He always gives 100%. He was great in the fight with Usyk. He's coming off a win over Kubrat Pulev. I'm not trying to sell him here, because we all know that, as I said, Tyson's an overwhelming favourite to retain his title and move on to the Usyk fight. But I think he had to fight. I think they wanted him to appear before Christmas. Frank Warren said that he wanted him to fight in December. So I can understand the negativity, but ultimately Derek's a warrior, and he's taken the fight, and I know one thing, he'll give it everything. It's 10 years since he fought for a world heavyweight title against Vitaly Klitschko. Amazing that he's gone on this long, and I'm sure he's getting well paid, and he'll try his best in there, and it'll be a very tough fight for him and a tough night, but I think it will be an entertaining event just before Christmas, and we get to see Tyson Fury at home again.
I agree. I think Derek will be going all out. I've been looking at the last two fights. So out of the 22 rounds that they've shared, Derek has won on paper about 3 rounds, according to the judges and experts that watched the fight. And the last fight, I think the last couple of rounds, Tyson took his foot off the gas, and he was kind of urging the corner to throw the towel in. So I know they compared it to the Wilder trilogy where Tyson was dropped a few. You can't compare it, can you? So the fans are happy. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, and you can't compare it to the Deontay Wilder trilogy, which was absorbing, fascinating, thrilling all the way through. Most of us thought Tyson deserved every fight, every one of those. The draw in the first one obviously had the incredible final round. I was there in Vegas for the second fight, which I thought was one of the great performances by any British fighter away in Nevada, and Tyson Fury was phenomenal. And the final fight was just an absolute classic, and he came back up off the canvas, and it was great. You can't compare them. We all know that Tyson Fury beat Derek Chisora comfortably the first 2 times they fought. Will it be any different this time? I think Derek is enjoying an Indian summer. He's fitter than he used to be. I don't want to see him go on too much longer, to be honest, and this is the this is the sort of last hurrah, I guess, which makes me think he will give it absolutely everything. It is a world title shot, but as a match, of course, it's very disappointing compared to what we would have seen against Anthony Joshua or a Joe Joyce, or obviously the Alexander Usyk fight we're all looking forward to. But I think of the names that were out there, Derek made sense from a British point of view, from a North London point of view, from a marking time point of view for Tyson Fury. But it would be seen as one of the biggest upsets, wouldn't it, in boxing heavyweight history if Derek could pull it off, going on the stats and facts from their first two fights and what Tyson Fury's become since then, which is the premier heavyweight in the world and a master of the counter boxing and a master of knocking fighters out now. So
on that point, is there concern for Derek's health? Obviously, Tyson's got himself in a sort of position where he's considered an all-time great in some people's list, and he's fighting Derek, obviously, who's had a lot of wars over the years. Is there a concern for Derek's health in this fight, considering what happened, especially in the second fight?
It's a very difficult question to answer because the health and safety of the fighters is paramount to everything. Ultimately, I think if Derek was coming off 7 defeats or something, you'd say, what on earth is happening? He did come off a victory over Pulev. As I said, I don't want to see Derek fight on much longer. But look, I'm not as close to him as his team is, as his conditioners, his nutritionists, his people, as he himself. He's a fighter. This is how he makes his living and earns his money. It's not us for broadcasters to sit there and tell fighters to call it a day or to demand this, that, and the other, because they are professional athletes. But yeah, I don't want to see Derek go on too much longer, and I hope that he has a good go at this and puts everything into it, and they both come out healthy and happy, and I imagine Tyson moves on to the Usyk unification. I can't really see it any other way, but you never know in heavyweight boxing. Bob Arum's bringing the Tommy Morris and Michael Bent factor into it. I think Tyson Fury's a different animal, a different fighter. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the great heavyweights probably that's ever lived, certainly of our era, and I think he'll go down as that. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but ultimately he needed a fight. Derek's answered the call. Derek's management wanted him to take the fight. Derek's training team wanted him to take the fight. So it's probably a question you should ask them rather than me. As far as I'm concerned, it's an event, and we'll be looking at it as Tyson Fury defending his world heavyweight title against a British fighter that's given us everything over the years and is a very popular character. I adore Derek personally, and and I hope he does come out safety. Obviously, health and safety is the most important thing, and he needs to for his family.
And just mentioning the names from a broadcaster's point of view, because you've got experience in this, I was looking through the WBC rankings. Number 4, we've got the WBC silver champion, Arslanbek Makhmudov, who's 15-0. We've got Bakoli, who's number 9. We've got a guy from Kazakhstan, Zan Kozabutsky, who's 18-0 southpaw, which could have been good preparation for Usyk. Is it a case of these guys probably wouldn't have sold the box office event from your point of view? I think anyone that would have been the opponent for Tyson Fury after Usyk and Joshua and Joyce were all sort of didn't happen for one reason or another. I think everybody's going to be on a downer because the AJ fight wasn't made. I know AJ wanted it. I know Tyson wanted it. So that's disappointing. But you've got to roll on, and they've got an arena, a stadium, to sell. It's a business, and ultimately they needed a dance partner for Tyson, which made some sort of commercial sense. And Derek Chisora is a bigger name than any of the ones, a much bigger name than any of the ones you've mentioned. He's a former world title challenger. He's been a very solid heavyweight over the years. He's got some really good wins on his record, and he's also got some very valiant defeats. So it made sense, didn't it, Derek? And he wanted this opportunity, and Tyson needed a fight, so that's why it's happening. Last question. Adam Azim, I understand talks are probably finalised with the Charlton fight. Is that signed, and is that going to be announced anytime soon?
Yeah, expect an announcement soon on Adam Azim. He is somebody that Ben and I are extremely excited about, everyone at Boxer, everyone at Sky, and we want to really build Adam Azim into becoming a superstar of the future on the back of the fantastic female show at the O2 on Saturday night, where superstars are going to be coming through on the women's side. Want to make sure also that our men aren't forgotten too, because all the talk has been about our brilliant women, and rightly so, on a record-breaking night at the O2. However, there are some very, very talented young men in our stable, the likes of Ben Whittaker, Adam Azim, obviously Fraser Clark, and Adam is somebody that I think everybody in the business is excited about. The electrifying performances he's put on so far. He's entertaining us, he's knocking fighters out, and I hope that's something we can announce soon, and really look to the future with Adam Azim as a massive star.
Adam, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it as always.
No problem.